7 hidden signs God is silently helping you. 7 keynotes. God closes doors to protect your destiny. Cat C. You lose people but gain peace. 3. You're being delayed, not denied, and you're feeling restless in familiar places. 4. You're facing private battles that shape public victory. Divine coincidences are guiding your steps. 6. You're drawn to prayer without knowing why. 7. You're growing in silence while heaven is working in secret. Introduction. There are moments in life when you feel forgotten, abandoned, and overlooked. You pray and hear nothing. You ask and see no answer. You cry out and heaven seems to stay silent. But what if I told you that the silence isn't absent? That behind the stillness is a move of God so profound, so precise, that when it's revealed, you'll fall to your knees in awe. You see, we live in a world where noise equals activity. But in God's kingdom, silence often signals something sacred. The farmer doesn't scream at the seed when it's buried. He waits because he knows something is happening underground. In the same way, when God goes silent, he isn't ignoring you. He's preparing something inside you. Many of us miss the move of God because we only look for him in miracles, not in the mundane. We expect burning bushes, but he often works in whispers. We want breakthroughs overnight, but he builds character over seasons. His strategy is hidden, but his help is constant. Today, I want to reveal to you 7 hidden signs that God is silently helping you. These are not coincidences, and they're not delays without purpose. These are the fingerprints of a Father who loves you too much to leave you where you are. Stay with me because what you're about to hear may explain what you've been questioning for years. Osen, God closes doors to protect your destiny. You prayed for that opportunity. You begged God to make it happen. You believed, hoped, planned, and then the door slammed shut in your face. No explanation, no warning, just silence. And in that silence, you felt abandoned, forgotten. But let me tell you a truth that will reframe your pain. When God closes a door, he is not punishing you. He is protecting you. God sees what you cannot. He knows the conversations you were never a part of, the hearts of people you trusted, the traps laid in places you were heading. So when he shuts a door, it's not rejection, it's redirection. He's rerouting your life away from destruction you never saw coming. Think of Noah. When the door of the ark closed, it wasn't just to keep Noah in, it was to keep judgment out. That closed door was salvation. And some of the doors God closes in your life are his way of saving you from a future storm. You think he's withholding good from you, but he's actually preserving the best for you. It hurts when doors close. The job that didn't call back, the relationship that ghosted you, the loan that was denied. But what if you got the job that pulled you away from your calling? What if you stayed with the person who never loved your purpose? What if the yes would have stolen your soul? We beg God for open doors, but the wiser prayer is this: God, close every door that's not of you. The enemy loves to attack you in moments of closed doors. That's when the lies begin. You're not good enough. God forgot you. You missed your moment. But the truth is, some closed doors are a sign that you're right where you need to be. You were headed towards something too small for your destiny, and God blocked it to bless you. We serve a God who sees the end from the beginning. He knows what's ahead. So don't curse the door that didn't open. Praise him that he loves you enough to say no. Because every no from God is pregnant with a greater yes, a better job, a higher calling, a deeper purpose. Joseph had doors closed on him, betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, accused in Potiphar's house, forgotten in prison. But every closed door brought him closer to the palace. You think you're being held back, but you're being positioned. You think you're losing time, but you're being refined. And sometimes the door isn't closed permanently, it's closed for preparation. God shuts the door because you're not ready yet, or because what's behind it needs time to align. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. So the next time a door closes in your life, don't panic, don't run, don't doubt, worship, praise, trust. because the same God who opens doors is the God who closes them, and both are acts of mercy. If only you knew what he was saving you from. Closed doors are not the end of the road. They are signs posted by heaven that say wrong direction, rerouting for glory. Let God close the doors. Let him remove the options. Let him redirect your path. Because where he's taking you, you won't need what you thought you lost. Not every opportunity is sent from heaven. Some doors, though they glitter with promise, lead to destruction. When God closes a door, it may feel like rejection, but it is often his hand of protection. You may have wanted that job, that relationship, that opportunity so desperately, but if it doesn't align with his will, he'll remove it, sometimes without warning. It hurts when God says no, especially when your heart was fully invested. But that no is a divine redirect. It's him saying, I see what's coming, and I won't let you walk into something that will crush your spirit. What you call a mischance, God calls mercy. What looks like delay is often deliverance. Think of how Joseph was denied his freedom again and again, only to be promoted to the palace at the appointed time. Every closed door led him closer to purpose. That's the grace in closed doors. They often lead you exactly where you belong. If God hadn't shut that door, you wouldn't discover the better one he's preparing. 2. You lose people but gain peace. There's a hidden mercy in losing people who no longer belong in your future. You pray for peace, and sometimes the answer comes in the form of separation. It may feel like betrayal, like abandonment, but what if God allowed the breakup, the disconnection, the sudden distance, because he heard conversations you didn't, because he saw intentions you couldn't? Peace often follows divine pruning. God removes what doesn't serve your purpose. The relationship that drained you, the friend who manipulated you, the crowd that couldn't celebrate you. When God is silently helping you, he'll remove the noise, the distraction, and the disloyalty so you can walk in clarity and confidence. It's hard when people walk away, but look again. You may be grieving who left, but are you not sleeping better, feeling lighter, thinking clearer? That's not a coincidence. That's the peace of God showing up as confirmation. The presence of peace is a hidden sign of divine subtraction. Let them go and let God lead you to the people who fuel your fire, not drain your flame. 3. You're being delayed, not denied. Delay is not always denial. It's often development. When you ask God for something and it doesn't come quickly, it doesn't mean he said no. It may mean you're not ready yet, or I'm aligning everything so that it's right when you receive it. In the divine blueprint, God cares more about preparation than acceleration. Look at the life of David. He was anointed king as a teenager, but didn't sit on the throne until years later. The delay wasn't punishment, it was preparation. God had to shape his character, test his heart, and position his enemies. Had David been rushed to the throne, he may have ruined what God had destined him to rule. The same is true for you. If it hasn't happened yet, it doesn't mean it won't. It means God is working in unseen places. Delays allow you to grow, mature, and become the person who can carry the blessing you're praying for. Don't confuse waiting with wasting. When God delays something, he's often making it better than what you originally asked for. Say, you're feeling restless in familiar places. When the familiar no longer feels fulfilling, it may be a sign that God is stirring your spirit for more. You used to feel comfortable in that job, in that city, in that routine, but now there's a restlessness. That's not just boredom, it's a divine alert. God often disturbs your comfort zone to awaken your calling. Think about Abraham. He had to leave his homeland, his familiarity, his family, to step into the unknown. That restlessness you feel, it's the beginning of a transition. God's not punishing you, he's preparing to reposition you. Sometimes your spirit outgrows your surroundings, and God uses restlessness as a holy discomfort to push you forward. When you feel that internal nudge, don't ignore it. It may be a sign that you're being called into a new assignment, a higher purpose, a deeper walk. God often removes your peace in a place to show you it's time to move. That discomfort could be the beginning of your destiny. Hutshot, for you're facing private battles that shape public victory. There's a reason your hardest battles happen behind closed doors, because public victories are born in private warfare. When you're crying alone, praying in silence, and fighting battles no one sees, it may feel like God is distant, but in reality, that's where he's doing his deepest work. Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness before his public ministry began. Joseph endured years in prison before entering Pharaoh's court. David faced Goliath after being overlooked by his family. These private battles were all preparation for a public breakthrough. Your silent suffering is not wasted. Every tear you shed is watering the ground for your testimony. Every night you stay up praying is forming spiritual muscles. God is using your hidden battle to shape you for visible victory. When the world sees your triumph, they won't know the price you paid, but heaven knows, and heaven is moving on your behalf. The 5 divine coincidences are guiding your steps. Have you ever been in the right place at the right time, met someone randomly who changed your life, or avoided danger by a last-minute decision? Those aren't coincidences. They are divine interventions. God speaks through patterns, placements, and perfect timing. What looks like luck is often the invisible hand of the Almighty. Ruth just so happened to glean in Boaz's field. Esther just so happened to be in the palace when her people needed saving. These weren't accidents, they were orchestrated. And the same is true for you. God is guiding your life with divine appointments, even when you don't realize it. Watch closely. The timing of that phone call, the sermon you stumbled upon, the job you didn't expect, all may be signs that God is nudging you forward. He doesn't always use thunder. Sometimes he uses traffic delays and grocery store conversations. The smallest things are often signs of the biggest shifts. Acts. You're drawn to prayer without knowing why. Sometimes you're suddenly drawn to pray deeply, urgently, without any obvious reason. That's a divine alarm. It's God pulling you close before something happens. Prayer is not just you talking to God. It's him preparing your spirit for what your eyes can't yet see. Have you ever felt the need to isolate, to fast, to cry out? That's not random. That's a move of heaven, softening your heart, opening your ears, and alerting your soul. When God is silently helping you, he begins with your spirit. He whispers before he reveals. Don't ignore those moments when you feel like praying more. They are heaven's warning lights. God may be protecting you from danger, preparing you for opportunity, or speaking to someone on your behalf. Your sudden hunger for his presence is a sign that something is shifting in the spiritual realm. You're growing in silence while heaven is working in secret. Growth doesn't always come with applause. Often your greatest growth happens when no one is watching, when you're not being noticed, when you're not being promoted, when it seems like your efforts are invisible, but God sees. And in those silent seasons, he is doing his deepest work. Think of a seed planted in the ground. It breaks before it blooms. It grows roots in darkness. That's what your current season may feel like. Hidden, buried, broken. But heaven is at work. The silence is sacred. It's in the dark that God builds the foundation. Don't despise the quiet. You're not being overlooked. You're being cultivated. Every moment you stay faithful, obedient, and humble, you're expanding internally. You're being prepared for a stage, a platform, a breakthrough that will require the very strength you're building now. The silence isn't the end. It's the womb of something holy. When the time is right, God will reveal what he's been shaping in the dark all along. Air gaze. In conclusion, God's silence is never his absence. He works in secret, moves in silence, and speaks through stillness. You may not see the whole picture, but he's already framed the ending. The delays, the detours, the heartbreaks, they're all part of the divine architecture. Every hidden sign is a message from heaven. I am still with you. When he removes, he replaces. When he delays, he's developing. When he quiets, he's qualifying you for something greater. Your life is not in chaos. It's under construction. Keep walking. Keep trusting. Even in the silence, you are surrounded by grace. And when the appointed time comes, you'll see it all clearly. Until then, trust the signs. God is silently helping you more than you know. Thank you for staying with me today. May you walk with eyes wide open and a heart full of faith. The God who seems silent is the God who is moving mountains for you. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are being helped, even now. Thank you, and may God bless you richly.